All right, here we go. Okay, so welcome to my hitting masterclass. All right, there's a couple things I want to go over. Don't want to take too much time, but make sure that the information is right to the point. Okay, just to reiterate, you guys did a really good job yesterday at making a two-strike approach. Okay, our strikeouts were way down. Okay, I kind of want to give another example of the two-strike approach. If this is my regular stance, right, my stance starts at my stride distance. Okay, once I'm right here, I can either minimize my step or I could just not step at all. And when I'm already in my full stride length, taking away the step is okay because I'm already still in my power position of where I need to be when I take that initial step. Okay, I choke up on the bat. Obviously my feet are a little bit wider than normal, and here's what I mean by a short swing. Okay, a short swing entails that my chin, when it starts on my front shoulder, okay, I should finish and my chin being on my back. A lot of guys, you guys will swing and you're looking over here right at me at third base. Okay, think shoulder to shoulder. My chin will start on my front and then it finishes on my back. Okay, keeping your head in the line of the pitch is going to be crucial, and it's part of one of the big reasons why we're swinging and missing. Right, one of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever been told is how you going to hit or catch something that you can't see. So really make sure that you see the ball all the way to the bat, and then after, at the end of your swing, you can look and see where it's at and then make adjustments as you head to first base. Okay, going off of the idea of sight. Okay, sight. Some guys hit out of their peripherals. Okay, I was actually one of those guys. It wasn't until later on in my career that I learned how to use two eyes when I swing, and I've talked to some of you guys about this. Okay, if I'm as a lefty, okay, facing the pitcher, I can see the whole picture with my right eye. Okay, the outside eye. But sometimes I notice if I were to close my right eye, I can just see my nose or just like a small little silhouette of that pitcher. So what I want guys to do, okay, is to really fully turn your head at that pitcher when he's about to throw. Okay, I understand it's kind of an awkward position for your neck and it might feel a little strained, all right? But Ken Griffey Jr., one of the greatest hitters of all times, when you look at some of the footage of him in the box, he kind of do some stuff like this, right, where he tilts his head every so slightly. And he is such a great ball player that he learned how to time a pitcher so that when the pitcher is about to release the ball, okay, his eyes are fully on that baseball, and now he can track and see the ball all the way to the bat. Okay, now why this is so important: if we look out of our peripherals, meaning that I can't see that pitcher with both eyes, I can't see the ball with both eyes all the way to my zone. I'm only hitting out of my peripheral vision. If I can fully turn my head all the way to that pitcher with my whole face and my eyes, I can track the ball easier into my zone. Okay, so for a lot of guys moving forward, I want you guys to figure out during BP, okay, what is the solid timing to when I'm about to release the ball, both eyes are on that ball out of my hand and watching it all the way to your bat. Okay, that is how you can see a pitch, and that's how it's going to be easier for you guys to recognize spin rates and see if it's going to be an off speed sooner than later. Okay, this is a hard game. The time for you to make a decision on to swing or not is a split of a second. Okay, so at this point in our careers, my job as a hitting coach to you guys is to be able to teach you how to simplify a swing to the very bare minimum simple stuff. Okay, I don't teach fancy, I teach simple, but I also teach what works and what is really efficient. Okay, so for some guys, recognize if, oh man, I've been seeing out of my peripherals the whole time. Now you can see the whole ball. Okay, now, one of the biggest issues that we had at the beginning of our game yesterday was way too many pop-ups, right? They only dropped one pop fly, but out of like the 12 that we hit, they caught 11, okay? Out of the ground balls that we hit that were really hard put in play, they might have made the play, but it was a lot more sketchy than it was smooth. Keep in mind, these are all JV high school players. They're not major leaguers. The chances of you getting a hard hit ground ball that results in you being safe at first base is tremendously higher than the major leagues. Okay, so when we make errors putting the ball hard on the ground. Now, here's my biggest piece of advice. Okay, if the ball is in this zone coming from the pitcher, okay, everybody take a look at where the barrel is and where my back shoulder is. Okay, I always tell my hitters to start right here in this position. Okay, I call it the telephone position, right? When I work with little 5 and 6 year olds, sometimes things that I tell them, they don't process it as well as you guys do. So I go, hey, imagine your mom's calling you, right, telling you what's for dinner. How do you hold that phone? And most of the time, they put their hands up right here like they're answering a phone call, okay? So answer that phone call with your hands. And what's super important about this is now my hands are starting above the baseball. A lot of you guys, especially when we pop out, you may not even realize this, but at your swing, your hands are below the baseball. When my hands are below the baseball, look what happens to my barrel. It's tilted in a pop-up position, right? That's not what we want. So this is why at the beginning of the season, I had a lot of you guys do one-handed tee drills. One-handed tee drills, because we need to keep our barrel above our shoulder during our swing until my hands are in front of my body. Now notice and see where the barrel is, okay? Barrel is still above the baseball, but now it's more in a flat, solid zone, and I can make contact, okay? It took me a really long time to understand this, because I was like, well, if my barrel's above my shoulder the whole time, am I not just going to chop on the ball the whole time and then it's just going to be a weak little dribbler or something? No. The idea is that during your swing, everybody watch my barrel, my shoulder. During your swing, your barrel stays above your shoulder until my hands are out front in this position. And then at this point, it's all just wrist action, okay? If a pitcher is throwing 90 miles an hour and I just stand right here, okay, and I meet that ball with my wrist action, right here, it's going to be 9 out of 10 times a line drive, okay? So this is how we're going to really cut our pop flies down, by having our hands starting high by our ears, and they stay high. Barrel is above my shoulder until I bring my hands down into the zone in front of me. Then my bat flattens out, and then I finish over my top shoulder, okay? So when we go into our batting practice, here's a couple things that I want, all right? First, we're going to do our bunts. It's going to help get your eyes and your bat in one motion, okay? We got to make sure that our bodies are all in sync, okay? Next, we're going to do two-strike approaches. On two-strike approach, nobody should be swinging at 100%. I'll say that one more time. Nobody should be swinging at 100%, okay? You should be swinging about 70. Major leaguers play at 70%. Number one, because now they're more in control of their whole body and the way that they release the ball and swing the bat, but also because they have to play 140 games throughout the year, okay? If any of you guys think about playing 140 games throughout the year, your body's going to get real tired real quick. And it's going to break down real easy if you're always playing at 100%. The reason why they're major leaguers is because their 70% is your 180. Okay, they've just been doing it for that long. So, in the two-strike approach, I'm at stride length. I'm choked up on the bat, and my bat is super short. Okay, my load is only right here. It's not back here. I'm at 70%, and I'm playing a real live game of pepper. That's all it is. Finding a way to put the ball in play and making something happen, especially, fellas, especially when we have runners on, okay? Finding a way to put the ball in play is going to make it even easier for you to get on base, because now there's a lot of pressure on the defense that they not only got to worry about getting you out, but they also got to worry about whoever's on base and them getting to the next base, okay? So shortening your swing at 70%, choking up, feet apart, that's how our two-strike approaches are going to be, all right? The third round is going to be everything oppo. Now, your swing doesn't change. Your swing doesn't change. When we look to go oppo, we're looking for balls middle and away. Middle and away. You can still, okay, piece a solid ball opposite side. If it's an inside pitch, you just got to let it travel more. You just got to let it travel more, okay? Our swing doesn't change when we want to hit oppo. The depth of where the ball is to us changes, okay? That's the main takeaway for I want you guys when we're doing our oppos. And then lastly, the very last round, okay, is going to be no pop-ups. And that is where the whole barrel above your shoulder, okay, till my hands are front at the point of contact, is going to really come into play, all right? Keep in mind, when you guys are doing these rounds, I can tell if you're being real cautious with your swing, try not to mess up, okay? That doesn't help you. What helps you is you giving a solid swing, a game-like swing, okay, and feeling and recognizing the adjustments that need to be made. So now you're building muscle memory, all right? If you guys take cautious swings, you're getting too analytical. By the time you get to the game, none of it is going to matter, all right? But you guys give 100% swings, you make the adjustments, and you find what works, okay, that is what's going to translate over into the game. Does that make sense? All right, Cool. So you go ahead and pause it. Everybody stand up.